This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 3rd day of December in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Georgetown Public Hospital has successfully completed a series of historic chain kidney transplants, a first not only for Guyana, but also for the Caribbean. A chain kidney transplant is made up of pairs: a kidney patient in need of a transplant and a donor willing to donate a kidney on their behalf. In this case, there were a total of 4 pairs, comprising 4 donors and 4 recipients, amounting to a total of 8 surgeries. At a press conference today, Head of Department of Transplant Surgery, Dr. Kishore Prasad, said the historic transplants were conducted on September 29 and October 2nd, marking a significant achievement for the country and giving 4 persons new leases on life.
This achievement involved a 4-pair chain transplant among 4 sets of patients who were incompatible. Basically, because of the APNU, or what you call a blood group incompatibility, or antibodies incompatibilities. Or in simpler terms, none of them had a donor who could have donated a kidney to them successfully.
Dr. Prasad said the transplant's success was as a result of careful planning by a team of local doctors at the Georgetown Hospital.
With experience, meticulous planning, and the use of virtual cross-matching technique, the team skillfully matched each recipient with a suitable patient or a suitable donor so that they could be transplanted successfully and come off dialysis and lead a productive and healthy life.
He said Guyana has one of the leading transplant programs in the Caribbean and explained that the Georgetown Public Hospital is currently the only hospital in the Caribbean that is performing pair exchange transplant and chain kidney transplant. He said with unwavering commitment and careful planning, the hospital has completed the highest number of transplants when compared to its Caribbean counterparts. Both the recipients and donors showered Dr. Prasad and his team with praise. Samantha Ault is among the beneficiaries. She said the life-changing transplant has given her a new lease on life.
I was suffering with kidney disease that would have been over 2 years taking dialysis, and I was not aware of transplant up until I was hospitalized here last April. That's when I went on the list and I became aware that kidney transplant is actually done right in Guyana.
And Kiran Hardayal, a 2-time recipient, said he feels like an ordinary man again, noting that he was on dialysis for an extensive period and it took a toll on him.
Being on dialysis isn't something easy. It drains you a lot. And I can tell you proudly that I'm happy to be a kidney transplant recipient because my life improved a whole lot better. Now, my first transplant from 2015 lasted approximately 9 years and change. And it failed, and I was back on dialysis for approximately 1.5 years. And then I got a donor, but my donor didn't match. So that was heartbreaking because being a second-time transplant patient, it wasn't easy and it's difficult finding a donor to match me.
He said he was pleased when the hospital informed him that it had found him a match and he would have been part of the historic chain kidney transplants. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony applauded Dr. Prasad and his team, noting that the team continues to exceed expectations. The health minister said the transplant program has expanded significantly since it was first established at the Georgetown Hospital, with the number of beneficiaries increasing. To support the work of the team, particularly in the area of HLA testing, which is critical for kidney transplants to match donors, the Minister of Health said that the ministry will be sending a doctor to India to be trained. The Minister of Health said already the equipment is in place.
But this equipment also need us to have specially trained persons to be able to do the actual testing and the interpretation. And so one of the things that we have done is identify one of our doctors who would be going to India in the new year to be trained by the Apollo Hospital so that they can do HLA testing upon their return in Guyana. So this would add to what the program is doing.
He said through a number of partnerships, the Ministry of Health will be providing additional training to the doctors. Chief Executive Officer at the Georgetown Hospital, Robbie Rambaran, while acknowledging the hospital's success, spoke of the alarming increase in kidney disease. He said kidney disease continues to affect millions of people globally, and in 2023 was the 9th leading cause of death. He said in Guyana, the country has seen an increase in patients, particularly at the Georgetown Public Hospital. More news coming up in a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Every year somebody wins, but this year?
This year is my turn.
I'm going big. 48,000? Easy, that's 6 coupons.
Smart and fast. My win is just a scan away. Oh, and I take in that fridge too.
This is the winning one.
This year, the win is mine.
Shop $8,000 or more at any 6 Massey stores, and you'll get a chance to win our grand prize, the brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta, plus amazing consolation prizes. Massey stores, our family serving your family.
I'm sorry, I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Make this Christmas happen for everyone this year with Republic Bank. Make this Christmas happen with Republic Bank this year.
Attorney General Anil Nandlal is assuring citizens that when the government's electronic identification program is fully rolled out, there will be legislative cover to ensure data privacy. Appearing on his Issues in the News television program last evening, the Attorney General said citizens have nothing to fear when the program is fully rolled out, even though some personal information will be required. He said Guyana intends to utilize the eID tool as is being utilized by first world countries. There is currently a preliminary rollout of the system with some public servants. However, they have been asked not to provide any personal data. Mr. Nandlal said when the system is fully operational, all Guyanese will be obligated to be part of the eID system.
Once all the processes are in place and the personnel are in place and the mechanism to administer the full implementation of the legislation are in place, then the legislation will be brought into force and these processes will be unfolded in accordance with the law. And then it becomes obligatory on every citizen to become part of the process. Against that backdrop, therefore, the fears that I see being expressed by the APNU and by some commentators in the media are, I dare say, unfounded, without basis, and polluted by politics.
The Attorney General explained that there will be the necessary legislative framework that will regulate the use of data and implementation of the digitization process. He also noted that there is still a long way to go before full implementation. According to Mr. Nandlal, the legislation requires centers to be established in every administrative region, and each center and subcenter will have to be equipped with personnel who are qualified and trained to function to collect the data, along with the requisite equipment.
And I wish to assure you that the government is moving with every convenient urgency to ensure that the requisite mechanisms are in place, the human resources duly qualified are in place, the relevant infrastructure are in place before the legislation are brought into force.
Nandlal also said fears that the government will be using data for other purposes are unfounded. He said the government can already access some personal information through state agencies.
What use will we make of your passport number? What use will we make of your driver's license number? Those are information that any person, governments have access to those types of information. What the process is not taking from citizens are the type of information that are deeply personal and that data protection laws are passed to protect.
There have been calls for the government to provide more details about the EID system and also have some consultation with citizens. APNU Member of Parliament and the party's spokesman for public service and government efficiency, Sharma Solomon, has criticized recent statements made by the Minister of Public Service, Zulfikar Ali, who announced the government's push to move more public services online through the government's e-government systems. Solomon said to have an expanded dependence on e-government systems to manage critical public services without first proving the security capacity and integrity of the platforms would be reckless and irresponsible. In a statement, MP Solomon said before the government moves to any such transition, it must first prove that it has the capacity to do so. He said no responsible government adopts technological reforms of this scale on political slogans, noting that such a transition requires demonstrative evidence that the state possesses the technical competence, cybersecurity infrastructure, legislative foundation, and management protocols necessary to safeguard citizens' information and guarantee reliable services. Solomon said until those fundamentals are met, the Guyanese people are being placed at unnecessary and avoidable risk. He also expressed concern over data protection, saying the government's e-government platform will be run through the National Data Management Authority. Additionally, Solomon said the absence of structure exposes the entire digital architecture to political manipulation. He said it has been brought to the attention of the APNU that with the NDMA's limited capacity, the government has already farmed out citizens' data to external actors and agencies. He is calling for citizens to be informed and for their questions to be answered. Solomon said that with the EID system as currently designed, the government can gain access to the private lives of every citizen. He said that without transparency and oversight, citizens risk losing control of their most sensitive data. Solomon said a modern e-government system must be built on a secured national foundation and not outsourced in pieces to external contractors with no parliamentary scrutiny, and recommended that the enactment of comprehensive modern e-governance legislation. Without such legislation, he said, citizens have no guarantee that their data will not be abused. Guyana and the rest of the world today observed International Day for Persons Living with Disabilities, and President Irfan Ali announced a one-off $50,000 cash grant for persons living with disabilities here in Guyana. The grant is to be paid before the end of this month. The president told an event to mark the day that his government will continue to protect the rights and dignity of persons living with disabilities. In the coming months and years, he said, there will be a number of measures that will be announced for persons living with disabilities, which will include special support for house, lot, and home ownership, financial subsidies, including support for childcare costs, and special tax incentives for parents of children with disabilities. There will also be special incentives and grants for caregivers, among other things.
In addition, I am pleased to announce that I've instructed that a one-off grant of $50,000 be paid to every disabled person before the end of this month, providing direct financial support totaling $1.4 billion to PWDs, $1.4 billion in this initiative alone, the most vulnerable in our society, benefiting more than 27,000 persons.
President Ali said since 2020, the government has been committed to the task of transforming its vision of an inclusive society into a tangible reality for all citizens, including those living with disabilities.
Through these and other measures, in the coming months and years, my government will continue to create and generate tangible advantages and benefits for PWDs, especially through empowering and self-fulfilling opportunities for meaningful work and earning opportunities.
Additional measures are to be announced soon in an effort to improve the lives of persons living with disabilities, President Ali said.
Looking ahead, our commitment extends to ensuring no child is deprived of an education through the expansion of special needs schools and piloting special classrooms. We are retrofitting public buildings for improved access, providing free health care, assistive aids, and prosthetic support. Through our One Guyana initiative, we are developing a comprehensive database to better tailor our interventions.
He noted that his government's mission is to create an environment where the disabled can fully participate in all aspects of national life and contribute also to the nation's growth.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand. A adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Hi, my name is Stephen Jacobs, Minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. Health and fitness is the heart of a strong nation. And when we have strong Guyanese citizens, it helps with discipline and also productivity, and also a long-lasting life for you. So, for that reason, I'm endorsing the Energy Conference run on the 15th of February 2026. See you there.
Make this Christmas happen for everyone this year with Republic Bank. Make this Christmas happen with Republic Bank this year.
On the police blotter tonight, a 30-year-old businessman from Redwood Crescent in Linden is in police custody. After an operation unearthed a Glock 19 9mm pistol, a polymer 18 9mm pistol, 6 magazines, and a total of 56 9mm rounds. The name of the businessman has not been released, but news source understands that he is linked to 2 popular boutiques in the town. The weapons and ammunition were found concealed beneath the flooring of a bedroom in the Redwood Crescent house, according to the police. Additionally, the police found just over 6.9 million Guyana dollars in cash, along with $7,445 in cash stashed in a wardrobe in the same bedroom. The young businessman was taken into custody and remains in custody as a full investigation has been launched. The firearms are expected to undergo ballistics examination. Investigators are tight-lipped on their probe as other suspects could be arrested. And also in Region 10, the police are investigating the discovery of a high-powered rifle and ammunition during an intelligence-led operation conducted yesterday at 77 miles Unamco Road. The police said during the operation, ranks conducted searches in the area and found several campsites, which prompted further checks that led to the discovery of a suspected AR-15 rifle with a magazine containing 30.223 live rounds inside a hammock in one of the mining camps. No one was seen in the area at the time. The firearm and ammunition were taken to the Mackenzie police station where they were lodged pending the investigations. A full probe has also been launched into this discovery. Turning now to the tourism sector, convinced that at least 10% of the incentives available to the tourism industry is not being capitalized on, President Irfan Ali last evening said he will put together a team of young professionals whose primary focus would be to provide technical support to operators in the tourism industry. As he delivered the keynote address at the Guyana Tourism Authority's 2025 Awards and Gala, themed Jewels of the Night, the president said while opportunities exist within the tourism industry, some local tourism operators lack the capacity needed to effectively tap into investment opportunities and to secure the finances needed to bring their plans to fruition.
And I'm here to tell you that the sector is not making use of 10% of the incentive that is available to the sector. As I speak to you tonight, there is absolutely not one outstanding investment application at Guyana Office of Investment.
According to the president, some investors have been asking for additional benefits, although they have not taken time to effectively utilize the incentives that already exist. The core of young professionals, he said, will therefore aid in the compilation of business plans, investment proposals, and the formation of consortia. Importantly, they will also help to guide businesses through the various stages of securing investment incentives and approvals. Noting that there is no backdoor approach, the president said it is important for companies and businesses to meet the standard registration requirements, including the acquisition of TIN certificates and company incorporation documents.
And I'm going to challenge you to go to them with your ideas. Let them help you write your business plan up, your investment plan. Take it to go invest.
He also challenged the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana, Go Invest, and the Ministry of Finance and the incoming team of professionals to form an interagency mechanism that will guide operators from concept to investment agreement.
9 EOIs in the last 2 weeks for investment in the tourism sector. If all the operators in this room come together and raise 10 million US dollars and then come to the president and say, out of these 9, we want to form one consortium and take one to the next level. We can raise $10 million. Help us go to the IDB Invest and raise another $30 million so that we can build this one as a consortium. That is the role of that.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Suzanne Rodriguez, said since taking up the post, she has immersed herself into the industry. She said the industry has been making notable progress, with 12 new tourism experiences launched recently, bringing the total for the year to 15. The tourism minister said new tourism products and experiences are being introduced at a time when the country is looking to increase the visitor arrival rate.
Guyana recently recorded an 18% increase in visitor arrival for the first 7 months of this year as compared to the same period last year. This performance shows progress that must inspire continued effort. That growth reflects the resilience of our sector and the world's interest in our forests, rivers, culture, and people. We have set bold national goals to match that interest. By 2030, we intend to welcome 3 million transiting passengers through our ports of entry and to attract at least 1 million visitors annually.
She said those ambitious targets demand better infrastructure and connectivity and a product that offers visitors quality tourism products blended with Guyanese experiences. The government, she said, is committed to the task.
Work has already begun. The Linden-Mabura Hill Road, upgrading of 45 bridges between Mabura Hill and Lethen, improving connectivity and opening up opportunities. The rehabilitation of village roads, the Georgetown Renewal Plan, the beautification projects, and the construction of new ports.
Looking ahead, she said there will be an aggressive approach to tourism, explaining that the focus will be placed on the areas that have the greatest potential for expansion and long-term impact. Last evening's awards ceremony was held to recognize the work of tourism operators and the exemplary service they offer. A number of companies and businesses were recognized for their high standards in the hospitality sector.
Whether you're heading up the highway or just picking up the kids in Guyana, do it in power and style with the Isuzu MU-X. With the 7 full-size seats, turbo diesel power, and off-road control, Isuzu MU-X is built to handle any family lifestyle. Available at Marix, the authorized Isuzu dealer. Call 226-1306 for more details. Isuzu MU-X, robust, safe, and bold.
Our business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Something new has been growing, and it's now ready for you to pick.
Fresh.
Taste the Fruta freshness. Pick the fresh new 200 ml size today. Live Frutiful.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it.
Guy Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guy Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guy Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Make this Christmas happen for everyone this year with Republic Bank. Make this Christmas happen with Republic Bank this year. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, let's do this thing.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Organized crime in the Caribbean is being fueled by arms trafficking that can be traced largely to a handful of areas in the United States of Florida and Georgia. A study by Geneva-based Small Arms Survey has found. U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has ramped up efforts against drug cartels, from classifying gangs as terrorist organizations to bombing alleged drug trafficking boats off the coast of Venezuela. The Small Arms Survey, an independent research project whose findings are used by international governments and United Nations bodies, found that between 2015 and 2024, 7 in 10 firearms that could be traced from 6 Caribbean nations came from Florida and Georgia. Its analysis spanned the Bahamas, Barbados, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. Some 30% of all firearms seized in those countries and successfully traced to the U.S. were bought from dealers in just 2 counties in Florida. U.S. President Donald Trump and Brazilian President Luiz Lula da Silva discussed trade, the economy, and fighting organized crime in a phone call Tuesday, both sides said. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Trump said the two men also discussed sanctions, an apparent reference to his administration's targeting of Brazil's judiciary over the criminal case of right-wing former President Jair Bolsonaro. Trump said he and Lula had a great talk. Brazil's presidential palace said in a statement that Lula thanked Trump for his decision to remove additional tariffs on U.S. imports of Brazilian goods, including coffee and beef, and added that Brazil seeks to progress on talks about products still affected by the levies. Trump last month removed the 40% tariff on several Brazilian food products, which also included cocoa and fruits, and he had announced in July to punish Brazil over the prosecution of former President Bolsonaro, a Trump ally. During a 40-minute call on Tuesday, which the Brazilian presidential palace called very productive, Lula also stressed the urgency of strengthening cooperation with the United States to fight international organized crime, according to its statement. Lula and Trump agreed to speak again soon, the statement said. And finally tonight, international news. U.S. immigration officials kicked off an operation in New Orleans to arrest immigrants in the U.S. illegally, federal officials said on Wednesday, making it the latest city to be targeted by President Donald Trump's crackdown. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said the operation would target criminal offenders who had been released from local custody due to city policies that limit cooperation with federal immigration enforcement. Trump, a Republican, has ordered such operations in Democratic-led cities across the U.S., including Los Angeles, Chicago, and Washington, D.C., in a bid to drive deportations to record levels. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, a Republican, has supported federal immigration enforcement efforts and did so again in an interview on Wednesday with a local radio station. Residents and local officials in cities targeted by the immigration crackdown have pushed back, saying Border Patrol and ICE agents have swept in many people with no criminal record and have used heavy-handed tactics that endanger residents. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.